Dayton Discount Furniture. The name explains itself. Really comfortable recline. Mattresses. This sectional is only $6.99. And this episode of Decoding Dayton is free $99. Thanks to Dayton Discount Furniture. The name explains itself. Johnny and I start our journey down East 3rd Street, an area booming with creativity and economic possibilities. This area is yet unnamed.
So we have a couple of anchors of creative endeavors in this area that really doesn't have a name here. So we've got the Brightside, we've got Front Street. I would contend that Mike's Bike Park is a part of that. The railroad bridge that has the art on it over First Street.
Right.
And then to some degree, we have the flight line, the old railroad line here, and some of this building fabric right on the south side here that's not really in St. Anne's, but kind of at the edge of St. Anne's, and then goes out to the other East Gate neighborhoods.
Down through to Huffman.
Down to
Yep.
Huffman. If you map out all of these creative endeavors and think about the major anchors and then some of these smaller pieces here, is we've really got a new cluster, a new precinct here. But the baby hasn't been named yet.
Yeah, it's a Nexus of Somewhere.
It's a Nexus of Somewhere, and the Nexus of Somewhere has the potential to blossom into a new child.
Our first stop is at the Brightside, a creative anchor serving the community as a music and event venue.
We acquired these buildings in 2009. With a building like this, you ask yourself at the very beginning, what is it supposed to be? And you can put your own perception of what something's supposed to be in every crack and crevice all day long. But if the way people respond to the space doesn't match your vision, it doesn't matter what your vision was. It's just not what it's supposed to be. So when we came to it, our question was, tell us, Dayton community, tell us, and building, tell us, what are you supposed to be? We're going to try our best to keep those options open to make it feel like quality, tend to details that we think matter, and let it tell us what it's supposed to be. And that's what's been so fantastic for us, is that every event, people will come to us and say, the energy in this space is really fantastic. There's something, just feels right. And that's enough of a cue for us that we're on the right track. So.
Nice. What is vaudeville? But it's vaudeville.
Right, kind of a funny spelling for vaudeville.
Yeah.
So we actually have two of these signs. When we first started it wasn't even renovations. First, it was just the purge. Mm-hmm. When we bought these buildings, they were full of around 90,000 garments that had been donated for Katrina victims and then never distributed. Those donations kind of became piles that invited other things to be brought into the space. Yeah. So it ended up being trash, building supplies, etc. Right. So in the midst of all of that, you're sort of looking around and what do you see? What is here? As we started to deal with the things that were stored in the ceiling, we discover two metal signs. They're strapped together, they're covered in soot. They appear to be some sort of letters, and we don't think much of it. We just take them down and they feel like metal signs, worth keeping. We bring them out to the front. He starts hosing them off, and this red patina starts showing up under the black soot, and it's not one, it's two of them that have been tied together. So to us, it signals that this is not just a fluke. This is not just something that got dropped off here. This was a going enterprise of some sort. There was something called vaudeville in this town. It was advertised with those signs, and we would love to figure out. I mean, we've had stories. One of our kids' friends, his grandpa came to pick him up, and he said, "Oh, I came and watched some sort of theater down here years and years ago." Wow. And we're like, "Well, down here? Where? Like right here? Was it called vaudeville by any chance? With a crazy spelling?"
So we need the viewers of Decoding Dayton to decode it for us.
Decode that, babe. I just want to know. I want to know the story, because that's ultimately, we've called our big ballroom the Vaudeville Ballroom.
That's awesome.
When we first walked through this space, the first things my husband Hamilton saw, were the beams
The
through
trusses
all of it.
are just incredible.
And you couldn't actually see them clearly because there were 2x4s creating a dropped ceiling, so that they weren't visibly obvious the way they are now.
So in your research, do you have a sense of when the original pieces might have been built?
So we actually we had a whole fantastic learning curve because the back 14 feet of the building weren't attached to the property. We discovered this, we did the research, we were able to eventually attach it, but what it did is it allowed us to go into the county records. We were able to see where this building actually was an entire floor lower before the floods. So we're standing at the second floor. So this arch right here, so this was a doorway, and you can see the height of the doorway.
Yes.
So this was supposed to be a a full floor doorway, which is obviously would now be sort of more of like a hobbit garage. So yeah, this is kind of one of the cues, but you see that around the building that it actually was whole, a lot of it was filled in. And at the time it wasn't even a railroad back there. That was a canal.
That's what I was going to say, because the railroads followed the old canal sluiceways.
Yeah, so it was a canal and it was at canal level. So I have no idea when that.
That was probably part of the reason that this was lower.
Yeah. Carly gave us a great tour, and then she handed us off to Hamilton, who got us up on the roof, because Decoding Dayton has to be on the roof.
So Carly,
Yes.
we spent a couple hours yesterday.
Yeah.
And this morning when I'm in the bathtub, because I take a bath every morning, that's when I do my best thinking, I'm thinking Carly is right now a de facto mayor of the Nexus of Somewhere. And I just think you've got so much opportunity here to think about that one little conversation, one little snippet that you said at the Webster Station meeting a year ago. And you've got just incredible potential over here.
Well, and I think the potential is in large part to the fact that there are people in this town that are finding creative ways to look at things that have been here and have been overlooked. And I think that's why when we say Shine on Dayton, the tagline for this venue is really meant to celebrate the fact that even though lots of people drive by and don't see anything, there are people that see gems.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. They're all
They
over.
are everywhere.
We've seen them. You guys have seen them, and now it's just trying to help everybody else see them too.
All right, well, the cops are coming. We
That's
better
right. We better scram. We better get off the roof.
Our next stop is a well-established arts hub in Dayton, Front Street. I know there's going to be some great history here. Front Street is like this enormous campus.
Well, Front Street is canal era, and the railroad up there used to be a canal hydraulic. And there used to be a lot more of these in here, but they've been removed over the years, so this is really an iconic remainder.
Huh.
So who are we going to meet?
We're going to meet with Richard.
All right, and we're going to meet him where?
Under a bridge.
You mean this bridge?
There he is.
There he is.
Richard.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Glad you can make it.
Yeah, super excited.
Absolutely.
John Gower.
John,
Hey.
pleasure. Always.
Hey,
Absolutely.
This place is just a giant sprawling campus.
It is. With the three buildings, it's really been a large project for us, getting things up to spec and getting things art-based. We got a lot of history here as far as the history of Dayton, as far as manufacturing goes. Back in the day, this was all water-powered, so the water would literally come underneath the buildings, go through it, and then come out a canal right here. That's why I call it Front Street. The water would come out here on Front Street.
Wow.
so as we're wandering around today, you're going to be able to, do you have any remnants that show where the canal was?
Absolutely. We got one
Oh,
other loading
that'd
dock
be
that's
really
right around
awesome.
the corner. I can show you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go see it.
Let's
Cool,
start.
let's go.
All right. We weren't ready for what was about to be decoded. I had no idea what I was going to see.
So come on a little closer. Let me show you what's going on here. Here, take this flashlight, and you can see the piers, and you can see the waterway where it comes through.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And that's where the water would come in the other side of the building, then
Turn
power
the
them-
wheels.
turn the wheels,
Power the
power the
wheels.
buildings, and then it would go down Front Street and go back out to the river.
Decoding Dayton lives for moments like this that leave us in awe of what the city was built on and has to offer. We're exploring an area that is over 170 years old.
Now that is a boiler.
This is the original boilers, it.
Wow.
Now the amazing part is they would drop the coal off in the parking lot across the building over here.
Okay.
They would shovel it by hand into these bins. Then they would have to shovel them into the boiler itself. Then again, once again, they'd take the coal out, and there was a big ash pit behind this door right here.
Wow.
And they would clean that up every so often. So it was all manual labor.
Just like the Titanic.
Exactly.
Front Street is packed with artists. We can't see them all, but we were able to stop into a couple.
This is a mechanical elevator, so it still has the cable system up on the roof that drags it up.
Okay.
And back in the day, this is where they would load the big rolls of paper on for the envelope factory.
Envelope factory?
Yep.
I didn't know there was an envelope factory here.
Yeah, this is the envelope factory. This is an international envelope. They made all the envelopes and money bands for the federal government. So one time, every envelope they used came out of this building.
Green means go, red means stop, or?
No, we just pull on a cable, down is up is down, and hang on, keep your fingers inside
it's very
the car.
manual.
Absolutely. Very tactile. There we go. Just like that.
Look, I've been in plenty of freight elevators in my day, but never one like that.
No, this is a true freight elevator. It's going to handle about 5,000 pounds.
Wow. Floor 2.
Floor 2, we're going to go to floor 3. We're going all the way up to the top.
Okay.
Yep. Nothing but top shelf for decoding Dayton.
Nothing but the top shelf
That's
for
right.
decoding Dayton.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, say what you said that was interesting about the federal government. This was abandoned. What was this?
International Envelope Company, up until '65, they operated out of this building.
And what did they do?
They made all the envelopes for the federal government and all the money bands, like when you would go for Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
So at one time, every envelope and every money band that the federal government used came out of these buildings. Okay, so this is Mike Elsaw's studio itself. If you look up, he's got a cupola area.
So
during
wait,
the summertime.
say it again. It's a what?
A cupola.
A cupola.
Yes. So actually, it's like a big skylight area, if you think about it that way.
And there the man is himself.
There he is.
Oh my God, look at that boat.
Thank you. It's been a labor of love, that's for sure.
What kind of sailboat is this?
It's a 14-foot lap strake boat, which means this is the lap strake condition. These overlap like the old clapboard siding on houses.
Yeah.
And but they're sealed incredibly well, obviously. It's made out of okumi plywood and ash.
Are you originally from Dayton?
I'm actually from San Jose, California.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How'd you come to Dayton?
Ex-wife.
It doesn't matter how you got to Dayton as long as you're here.
All right, might need your sunglasses. It's a little bright up here.
Goodness. Wow. It's
Look
like
at that
being
view
on
of
the moon
downtown.
or something.
All right. Look at that view of downtown.
Gower, are you seeing this? Yeah.
Army. Yeah.
I don't know what those are, but
One's an Army Air Force, one on the left.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yep.
Well, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out. We'd love to talk about Front Street and the history. And
Yeah,
all
there's
of-
so much going on here. It's amazing.
Yep. Welcome back anytime.
Yeah. Next time I'll bring my sunglasses up here. I can't even look. My eyes are watering. It's so bright. But this is really cool. The Nexus of Somewhere. Full of history that continues to be unlocked, businesses popping up, creative endeavors, economic opportunities. The potential is waiting. Should Richard slow down? He's a Chicago fast
All right,
talker.
that's what
Is
I
this
have.
okay? Okay.